Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Sam, and I'm back with a video, and it's been a really long time since I've actually made a video, but I wanted to put this out there because I think it's important um, locally here in Iowa. I live in Iowa. I think it's important for us to talk about this and what's going on right now. So basically, Iowa and Iowa State are a huge football rivalry, okay? So they play every year, and this year Iowa is good as always at football, and Iowa State was okay this year. So College Game Day is a show on ESPN that goes to the basically biggest football game of the week and sets up and talks about it and all that. And they have this tradition at College Game Day where in the background all the fans hold up signs, okay? So there's this guy by the name of Carson, and I'm sure you all have heard this if you're watching this video, where he basically held up a sign that said needs beer money or something, just a goofy thing. But it kind of took off. So a lot of people started donating to him. And what he said is he's going to donate to the Children's Hospital, which is great. It's fantastic. And yeah, I like that. And we're going to get in that more in a minute. But, and then Bush said that they'll match the donation and all this. So yeah, we're raising money for these kids and for their treatment and to pay for their bills and all this. But what I don't see anybody talking about is talking about how corrupt of a system we live in, that children children who are literally in a children's hospital for the most part terminal diseases, that their families have to be burdened with debt, with not being able to pay bills because their kid got sick, and they have health insurance, but maybe they're underinsured and their health provider doesn't only provides a certain amount of money. So these kids get into debt, and they're not the kids necessarily, but their parents get into debt, and their drug prices are extremely high. As we know, the drug prices we pay twice as much per capita on drugs as any other major country in the world. So nobody's talking about it's great that he did this, but nobody's talking about the major irony in that we have to raise money for kids who are in hospitals. Okay? That doesn't happen anywhere else. Okay? We look at this story, and as Americans we're like, "Oh, yeah, that's great," which it is great. But every other country would look at this story and be like, why does this guy have to go out of his way to raise millions of dollars for kids in hospitals? And I'll tell you why this happens in the United States. It's because our politicians are bought and paid for by big pharma, by the insurance companies. We're bought and paid for, and it's corrupt. It's a corrupt system. But the insurance companies made over $650 billion last year. I really, you can't even wrap your mind around how much money that is. You really can't even begin to comprehend how much money that is. $650 billion in profit. And for what? What are they doing? Yeah, they're providing healthcare, but how are they making profit? You got to ask yourself, how are they making profit? How do health insurance companies make profit? They make profit by denying care wherever possible. Okay? So when men, women, and children are denied care, then they're sent into debt. And as we know, medical debt is the number one cause of bankruptcy in America. 500,000 people a year go bankrupt because of medical debt. So the idea that this has to happen, the idea that somebody has to go out of their way to do a good deed to raise millions of dollars for these kids and to pay medical bills and to pay for their drugs that they need to survive is insane. It's insane, and our system's broke, okay? And how I can sit here and complain about it all day, but how are we going to fix it? Well, this guy right here is going to fix it. And the way that we fix it is through Medicare for all. No more half measures, okay? With Medicare for all, everybody gets covered at a cheaper rate. The only people that'll pay more money are billionaires, and they deserve to pay more money because they're not paying their fair share, okay? This gets me flustered, man. It really does. It really hits a different chord when it's kids who can't afford healthcare. That really is just and they don't understand it, obviously. But when a family, think about if you have a kid, or if you think about having a kid and that kid gets cancer, and in the back of your mind, when that kid's receiving treatment for cancers, how are we going to pay for it? That's complete BS, man. That's BS, and that should not happen in the most wealthy country in America, in the world, in America. It's just absolutely ridiculous, man. Medicare for all will solve these problems. Everybody will be insured under a single-payer healthcare system. Every other modernized country has this. Every other modernized country has this figured out. That everybody pays into it, and it's free at the point of service. It's just like the fire department. When the fire department comes, you don't have to pay out of pocket to use their services. God forbid that you have to. You know? And then think about this for a second. Think about if the fire department was privatized, and that you have to get a plan, right? You can get a silver plan or a gold plan for the fire department, where maybe your kitchen is covered when it sets on fire, but maybe your living room isn't. So when my kitchen's on fire, come on out and you can put it out. But if my living room's on fire, you can put it out, but then you're going to be in debt because your living room caught on fire. But if it was the kitchen, it would be the other way. That happens, okay? You can cover heart disease, but you can't cover brain cancer. Isn't that insane? To just think about that for a second, and we don't talk about it enough. The idea that people can go bankrupt because they got sick. The idea that these companies are making billions and billions of dollars in profits and lobbying so nothing changes, and our politicians are bought and paid for by these companies, so then they do their bidding. It's insane, man. And it has to change. This is a good story. Okay, him raising money for kids is a good story, but it's not a story that should happen. It's not something that should happen in the world. So I just wanted to put that out there, because I think a lot of people aren't thinking about that point, and aren't really comprehending the idea that we live in a corrupt system, man. And we're all just numb to it. We're just numb to it. Everybody has a story. Anybody that's watching this video has a medical story. And it's insane. It really is just absolutely insane. So I suggest that, I'm not trying to push politics on you, but I suggest that you check out his plan, Bernie Sanders' plan on how we can cut prescription drug prices in half in America, and how Medicare for all is going to eliminate student debt, or not student debt. We're going to do that too, but eliminate medical debt, and how that we're going to provide good quality healthcare to every man, woman, and child in the United States, regardless of income. And that's really what it comes down to. We need to provide healthcare for everybody because it's a human right. So thank you for watching, and see you guys later.